I was just catching up on some Scott Reich content, and he said when talking about Barry Morphew, he called him Barry Lee Morphew. And I nearly fell off my chair because do you know which other men who are currently in prison serving time for their wife's murder have the Lee as a middle name? Scott Lee Peterson and Christopher Lee Watts. I had no idea that Barry Morphew's full name was Barry Lee Morphew. Oh my goodness, is that a coincidence or what? So, Barry Morphew has been charged with, as far as I know, I'm not completely sure on everything on this case because I'm actually more concerned with where the hell is Suzanne Morphew's body. But I've heard that he's been charged with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and attempting to influence a public blah, 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 blah. Now, where the hell is Suzanne Morphew? So, some people would argue no body, no crime. Now, the Suzanne Morphew case has been of interest on true crimes channels for a while, and I've neglected it because I just didn't feel like I had enough information. And I still don't feel like I have enough information. Like, where did Barry put Suzanne's body? I mean, that is the biggest problem I have with this case. She hasn't been found, has she? Or maybe she will be found, or maybe they've found something and they're not telling us. But my problem with this case is that there is no body. And when there's no body, there are so many unanswered questions. It's kind of like a Scott Peterson situation. For a long time, after Lacey went missing, no one knew where she was. And a few months later, they found her body. But time is going on and time has gone on. I have no doubt that Suzanne Morphew is deceased because I don't think that she would just disappear and leave her children. She doesn't strike me as that type of person. But where on earth did Barry put her body if he, in fact, killed her? Now, I think I'm the only person willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because this is a case where I just have no clue. I've seen no evidence whatsoever that he did this. I'm not saying he didn't do it. That's not what I'm saying. I suspect that he did it, and I always go for the husband first. It's always the husband first, and if you can't get anything on the husband, then you start to look for exculpatory evidence. So I suspect that he did it, that he got rid of her. But I haven't seen the evidence at all, and that's my problem. Where is Suzanne Morphew's body? Can anyone help me with this? Because I don't know how you can, there are nobody cases where people have been charged and then convicted of murder. But where's her body? They didn't arrest Scott Peterson until they found Lacey's body at least. And that body was found exactly where he said he was fishing. So, the evidence was all there, even though it was very circumstantial. Where is the circumstantial evidence against Barry Morphew? Where is the forensic evidence against Barry Morphew? Yes, he's done some strange things since her disappearance, not least not showing adequate emotion, seemingly phony. There's something very empty about Barry Morphew and kind of what I would call mentally absent about him. But I just haven't seen the evidence. And that's part of the reason why I haven't covered this case on this channel. I have spoken to some people, some of my subscribers about this case, and there is some interest in it. But I feel like I've got nothing to go on if I don't know anything about where her body is. I remember the Lori Vallow Daybell case when I was really interested in that case as a crime case. And I remember just night after night, I would ponder, where are these children? Where are the kids? This was before they were found. I was so stressed about the children. I don't know why, but I just became so stressed that I decided to go on the online Ouija board. And the online Ouija board told me that the kids weren't alive. And when I asked where the kids were, the kids came up as, from my answer from the Ouija board said that the kids are very near. And, the kids were found on Chad Daybell's property. So the Ouija board was exactly right. The Ouija board told me that the kids were dead, and that the Ouija board also told me that the kids were very near. And now I know that now means that the kids were very near to Chad Daybell. They were right under his nose. So maybe I should go on the online Ouija board again. I'm kind of frightened of it. And I'm scared of asking the Ouija board too many questions. But the Ouija board ultimately was right in confirming that those children, Tylee and JJ, were deceased. So maybe it could give me some answers about what happened to Suzanne Morphew, because I feel like there's so many unanswered questions. There's nowhere to go with something when you don't have a body. It's very important. I would say that finding the deceased person is the heart of a case. And when you don't have a body, you're kind of left with many unanswered questions. And that's where I am with this case. There are just so many unanswered questions. If you can help me, I'd really appreciate it.